What is up, everybody? Hello and welcome to Lou and Monk's Happy Hour right here on the MMA Engine channel. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. It's me, Lou Betya, right below me, Brady and Uncle Wheezy, as I have a brain fart. And we are bringing you stuff several times a week, guys. We have at least 3 shows tonight, this being the first one, so don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial, as they used to say. I'm super excited for this one. Got some decent DFS takes, hopefully. High variance card here. Lou, how's it going? Are you looking forward to the card? And yeah, what's going on this Friday?
I'm looking forward to it. This is a typical, like, the hell is this Drek on Monday? And now I'm like, not so bad.
We've come full circle.
And I'd like to tell you that I have a little bit less rage this week to start the show, but we haven't gotten to, like, one of the fights yet. So I can't promise that rage will... the burning rage will subside, but I think I got some spots here. One of the big stories for me is that I feel like some lines are a little wide. There's a lot of recency bias some of these lines, so I'm going to be going a little bit out of the box with some of my plays. But I got a couple of yam bag shots I like. I got some crazy value stuff I like, and let's get it, dude. Let's go get it. Time.
Get it indeed. Shout out to the chat as usual. DFS by the numbers. Brady himself in the chat. Philip V, what's going on? Francis Boucure, hopefully I'm saying that right. What is up? Glenbot as usual. Addicted to Combat. What is cracking? Guys, with that, yeah, I'm super stoked for this one. Let's get some predictions, some bets, and some DFS advice going. I'll go ahead and kick this one off with the banger at strawweight. Elise Reed going against Sam Hughes. I'll try to keep this one short. Elise Reed 8,500, Sam Hughes 7,700. For DFS, I'm going to be on the side of Sam Hughes here. Reed just does not do it for me as far as scoring wise. Only 2.29 points a minute. 70 is what she put up in her win against she who shall not be named. Sam Hughes at 77 has much better DraftKings upside, 2.75 points per minute, top 10 pace on the card. 91. I know she is 1-3 in the UFC, so it's a bit iffy. Like I said, high variance here, but 91.5 points in her win at 7,700. That could be pretty close to optimal, depending on a couple of other fights. That's 10, 11. Maybe my math is off, somewhere around 11 or 12x. So I am going to be on the side of Sam Hughes. I should say for every single fight, I'm not going zero on any fight this week. Anything could happen. So if I say I'm low, if I say I'm like on Sam Hughes, for instance, I'll be, probably 20, 30%, maybe a bit over the field, but at least Reed.
Wish you were on Sam Hughes.
I'll definitely have a bit more or a bit, not zero, but definitely below the field here. I just don't like the output. Lou, what kind of action do you have for this one aside from being possibly on top of Sam Hughes?
No action. However,
no action.
I will not be betting this fight. I will not be betting the next fight either, just to get that out of the way. However, do you remember when Sam Hughes is going to get cut and everybody couldn't stand watching her, and then she beats Nunez, who just wilted? Yes. And now, less than a month ago, and now Sam Hughes is the sexy underdog pick. I don't get it. Like Elise Reed has one loss. It's to Sarge. It was on short notice. It was a stylistic,
not her proper weight class,
and stylistic nightmare. So I forgive it. She goes into enemy territory and beats Corey McKenna, who executed one of the worst fight plans you can ever see. But she's beaten Jasmine Jasuda Vicious. She's beaten Jillian DeCourcy, who that win's starting to get better and better because I think she'll be on her way to the UFC at some point. So the body of work is better for Reed. But, I mean, there are better spots on this card than this. And, if you want to take Reed decision, it's even money. That's fine. If you want to bet this to go to split, I never hate that kind of bet. But
yep.
I just this is the kind of fight that whoever wins, Twitter's going to go to war and be like, "Oh well, she clearly won that fight." And it's like, yeah, but dude, you bet this fight. You bet this fight and you lose it.
You reap what you sow.
I mean, this is not a super high level card with a lot of people but man, this is if this fight plays standing, I think Elise Reed wins. Elise Reed had a good get-up game. I don't know. I don't want to spend any more time on this fight, dude. I pass, but lean Reed.
Exactly, yeah. Reed clearly the better stand-up game. Hughes, I mean, not a very prolific takedown artist in her own right by any means, but if it gets into the clinch or on the ground, that is a path to a decision victory there. We will keep it moving. Chase the Dream Hooper, fantastic nickname. Absolutely love it. Felipe Kalarish on the other side, 8,600 for Kalarish. Hooper, 70. Actually, I'm not even going to say that. You go ahead and start this one, Lou. What do you think about Hooper Kalarish?
Well, I mean, I think we know what we're going to get from Hooper.
That's true. You did say no bet, so.
Well, the thing with Hooper is, like he goes for crazy stuff and he's so young. Like, I don't know, man. He's probably better off just facing like going in a different league at this point. But Kalaris is not impressive, So I could see this playing out a lot like the Steven Peterson fight, except without the overweight flex that we got, last time.
Yeah, lest we forget
when he fought Arosa. But Kalaris' decision is plus 150. I think the price is pretty good for what I perceive to be just Kalaris kind of laying on him and avoiding like the figure 4 or whatever crazy stuff that Hooper's going to pull out of his ass. But again, for me, this is like, is Kalaris worthy of this price tag? I know, but I'm curious to see how you play this for DK, considering it's probably going to be on the ground, the majority of it. I cannot imagine this, being vertical.
I mean, yeah, if it's going to be on the ground for most of it, I'm definitely going to be playing more of Chase Hooper. I think obviously he's the better all-around grappler. He's kind of a specialist, I guess you could say. He's $875 under his average salary. He puts up a decent pace, actually, surprisingly so, 2.84 points a minute, which isn't huge, but on this card, it's good enough for 7th best with all fighters that have at least 3 UFC fights. DraftKings points per win, 93. That is 5th best. So I'm going to be on the Hooper side of things. Again, I'll have a bit of Kalarish in, like the 150 max, something like that. But his, just much like Elise Reed, his DraftKings numbers are unimpressive, 2.32 points a minute. I just like Chase Hooper. I think he's going to be able to, could find a submission here, but also I guess I'm not going to be too high on him, though. He could be a bit under the radar, but with 11 fights, that's only 22 fighters. Tons of these fighters are at least 20, 30% owned. So, saying he's going to be under owned is probably just not accurate. I mean, you might be able to find an edge if he's in the 20s, low 20s. You could play a bit more of him. I do think he could find a submission here against Kalarish. So I'm going to look to play it that way, but keep my expectations tempered for sure. Next fight, Jonathan Martinez going against Vince Morales. One of 2 Moraleses on the card. Don't get them confused. Bantamweight fight, Martinez, $8,900. I find that to be extremely expensive for a guy that scores 2.7 points a minute and 74 points when he wins. This is on average over 6 UFC wins. Morales, on the other side, has made the optimal lineup in 1 out of his past 2 fights. $7,300. So a bit of salary relief here. But again, this pace, 2.16 points a minute and 77 in a win, is just not something I'm really looking forward to. He is coming in under his average salary, but I guess I'm going to be playing, both sides of this one. I don't have a ton to break down here. The paces for both of these guys are terrible. I guess I'd focus on them more for cash. But again, with 11 fights, I guess I'd be heavier on the Morales side as far as GPPs go for the salary relief, for the fact that, he could maybe find a finish here, but neither of these guys are out here getting finished, more than once in the UFC. So I'll be low on it, but I guess I'll be a little higher on Morales than Martinez. What about you? What do you think for this one?
I'm all about the finish on this one.
Yes, I love it. And if you say Morales, I'm going to fucking juice this line by 5%. I promise.
I'm saying Morales.
There it is, baby.
So this comes down to 2 things that I like. Now, Martinez is a leg kicker, and Morales has struggled against leg kickers, and I am fully cognizant of this. He struggled against Gutierrez. Benito Lopez just destroyed him. I get it.
He's one of the worst against leg kicks in the division as well.
I get it. And Martinez, if he fights a strong game plan, that's what he should do. But my problem with Martinez is every fight Martinez has been in, he's getting dropped.
Yes.
He got dropped twice at the end of each round by Alejandro Perez. Davey Grant finished him. Davey Grant, by the way, trains with Vince Morales. They train in the same gym.
Ooh.
So, good little tidbit there.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean Grant's like, this is how you punch him in the face. I mean, I don't want to overblow that like that's like a real thing. But for me, it's this. Vince Morales, He's been an underdog like all these fights. He's paying off his underdog price. Smolka, he's underdog. Draco Rodriguez, I think he was even money. Zahabi, he was a dog. He's a guy that fights well underdog pricing. Now, on top of that, he has 15 minutes to land, in my opinion, one big shot. Because the guys that are hitting and flatlining, or the guys that are knocking down Martinez, don't hit as hard as Morales. Morales is a dog, man. He hangs in there. Now, if this fight gets to the third, Morales may have a problem standing because he's very heavy on his lead leg, and I understand that.
Yep.
So but to me, I think if Morales knocks him down once, that's going to be the end of the fight. He hits way harder than Perez. So I'm taking the dog shot here on Morales, but I'm not playing a money line. Oh, no. His KO props plus 550. Because honestly, he doesn't win a decision. I'd be shocked if he won a decision. The only way he wins a decision is if it's like last fight where Martinez is just touching him up. Morales gets a knockdown with a minute left. And then, he's on the ground hitting him and the bell rings, and he gets that 2 or 3 rounds. I guess that's possible. But knockout is his win condition in my concern. It's plus 550. And as a bonus bet in what I'm giving away later in the Holland Tunnel hand job play, I'm going to play him round 2. Martinez has been beaten twice in the 3rd round, I believe. Davey Grant got him out in the second round. Sorry, round 2, not round 3. Martinez got him out. Martinez was knocked out in the 2nd round by Davey Grant. It's plus 1,700. Nice little sprinkle on the round 2 prop here. But yeah, I mean, Martinez is going to be winning this fight till he isn't. I think it's one of those fights. And also, can you really take Martinez if you just want to take a money line at minus 250? Like, come on, man. That's crazy wide. And like, I don't know. He didn't dominate Pereira. I mean, he like statistically, he touched him up more, but at no point did I feel like Perez was hurt.
No, not at all. And in fact, statistically, he lost that fight. If you take the judges out of it, very close fight, but still the stats give it to Perez on that one. But
you can't give me 250 with this one. No way.
No, not at all. Not at all. That line is insane. I echo you there. I absolutely love the call. Morales round 2 finish would be amazing for my DraftKings pick. 7,300. That's going on the optimal if that happens for sure. 4th fight. The second Morales being one Omar, the Venezuelan fighter Morales, going against Uros Medic. Why don't you go ahead and start this one? Because my play on this one is going to be pretty obvious, I think.
So any time prop you play here, I like. Any under 2.5, I think is -1. It's pretty wide. It's -190. It's a parlay piece at best. But you can play this with 2 props, and I think you make money. You play Uros Medic KO round 1, it's plus 450. And you back it up. Ooh. And you back it up with Morales round 2 at plus 600. Because if this gets out of the first, I mean, Omar Morales is not some impressive. He doesn't have great fight IQ. Look, man, Jonathan Pierce like crushed him. Okay, Jonathan Pierce is it's pretty good. Chikadze couldn't get him out of there. Fine. But it's different fights. Medic has been training in a different camp. I mean, he's no longer an Alaskan FC guy.
Is he a king
at this point?
Now?
Yeah, I believe so. So,
yeah.
So he's at least got he's time. He's acclimated. Like, look, man, but the guy has some serious power. Now he's beaten bums. I get it, but I still think he has a lot of power. And Morales is coming off again. He's coming off just getting smoked by Jonathan Pierce. I mean, absolutely smoked. He got choked out, but Pierce was touching him up everywhere. I mean, look, it's a bad look. So I'm going to give Medic his win condition to me is a round 1 knockout. I'll take the plus 450 against a 36-year-old who I'm not overly impressed with. But if it gets out of the first, again, then Morales, that round 2 at plus 600. If this thing makes the 3rd round, then I deserve to lose both. Like, to be completely honest. But Medic has never seen the 3rd round. Look, man, again, he has limited cage time even over 8 fights, but and he lost to Jalen Turner. Like, that loss is gonna be all right. Like, going forward, Jalen Turner, I like what I see from him, but I like the round 1, round 2. If you balance it, you're getting about like plus 250 on it. So I like that. And the time prop seems, if you want to do fight at the start round 3, I forget what that is. I think it was like minus 140-ish, which I like too.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's all
I
I got on
imagine
that
it has
one.
to be around there. Yeah, I mean, the way I'm going to echo you here for DraftKings is you got to play both sides. I will be heavier on the Medic side, which I wanted to be anyway. So the fact that he's coming in a bit cheaper than Morales is, just a bonus for me here. I like Medic first round knockout. Obviously, he got finished in the other fight that he, didn't win. Yeah, Jalen Turner, like you said, and I agree. I think Jalen Turner is going to be a fantastic fighter. But Medic in the one fight he did win made the optimal lineup. He's so far his pace 6 points a minute, 121 when he won. Morales, again, one of these very low pace fighters that we've seen at least 6 of so far in this breakdown, or maybe 4 to 6 of them. 2.11 points a minute, 67 when he wins. Like nothing at all to to take a look at there as far as DraftKings. But Medic could be finished early here, so, or like you said, in the second round. I completely agree. So Medic round 1, Morales round 2. Give me both sides of this. And at 8,400 and 7,800, it's not going to be difficult to get to either one. You can switch them in and out, save a bit of salary rather on the Medic side if you want to play more, Almeida or whoever the heck is at 91, maybe some Holly Holm for that this 5-round decision win that you're looking for. But I like both sides. I'm going to be heavy on this fight, probably upwards of 60-70%. I think the winner finishes and possibly makes the optimal lineup. So I absolutely love it. Next fight. I'll go ahead and start.
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
I'm going to go refill my drink. So
yeah, of course.
Do your thing.
I got this one 100%. Parker Porter going against Yelton Almeida. Guys, I mean, what do you want me to say? I'm going to be playing 100% of this fight for the most part. Almeida at 9,400 made the optimal lineup in his first fight. Finished under 3 minutes. I forget who was. Yeah, Danilo Marquez made it look easy. And now he's got Parker Porter at 6,800, who surprisingly has also made the optimal lineup in one out of his last 2 fights. Both these guys fighting around 3 months ago. Almeida obviously moving up to heavyweight. That's all the talk of the town this week. Is Parker Porter going to be too big for Yelton Almeida? Well, if you watch the weigh-ins, Yelton is towering over Porter. It has him listed at 6'3" and Porter at 6 feet. I don't know if that's inaccurate or what. It looked like they were, damn near 6 inches apart there. Porter looks not the best as usual. Almeida looks like a freaking statue. And like I said, a bit bigger than Porter, not as far as weight goes. He did weigh in at 224. I was just vamping till Lou got back, guys. I'm playing 100% of this fight. Yelton Almeida is going to be 70 to 80% of my lineups. Any lineup that he's not in, I'm going to put Porter in just because. That's it. I think, somebody is probably, making the optimal line. If Porter wins inside the distance or wins at all at 6,800, he's making the optimal lineup. So that's why I'm putting him in 20 to 30%. I'm going to be well over the field on that one, I'm pretty sure. And possibly even over the field. I know Almeida's ownership is like 60% right now. So maybe even a bit over on that one as well. Great breakdown. I think we both covered it fantastically from exactly the perspectives that we need to be covering that one. Joseph Holmes going against Alan Amadovsky.
I don't get to like speak on this fight. I never got.
Oh, I thought I misread. I thought that you didn't want to speak on it. I thought that's why you were getting your drink. See, I messed it all up. Ridiculous. No, I want you to. Absolutely.
All right. Let's just get this up there right now. So let's talk about this, Porker. I thought we were all like disgusted with him after the Betya fight. I thought
what happened?
I thought we were all had enough of this guy. Meanwhile, Almeida goes out there and just murders fools. But Porker, oh, the tinfoil hats. Oh, but Porker, somebody's bigger. Oh, he's bigger. Really? Is he bigger? Is he really? No, he's fatter. Scott Steiner thinks he's fat, like Samoa Joe. So the official pick, there's no analysis. The official pick, Yelton Almeida by Iron Cheek, old country style humbling, if you know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
Camel clutch.
Yes, baby.
Old country viz. Round 1, who cares? I don't care. The under is 1.5. It's minus 140. Round 1's even money. If there were like exact props about specific body parts, I'd be all in. But I'm just going to say round one at even money. I'm going to say the under 1.5 in the distance minus 190 is a parlay piece. And hold on a second.
Get it? Yeah, I totally misread you.
It's classy because it's got a stem. Ask Eric Betts Fights.
Yeah, stemware is class.
All right,
That's the bottom line.
All right, I made it through the part of the show that I was really worried about. So, Brady, I got you covered, bro.
Exactly. Now we will go on to, oh God, another one that I'm feeling forced into against my will. Ugly Man Joe against Alan Amedovski. Why don't you go ahead and start this one off? I mean, who knows?
All right, this is another one where any time prop you play should be good. I mean, I'm like taping fights is in the last couple of months is been like really interested, and I'm learning a lot. There's a lot of stuff I remember, but so I went back and I watched the Amedovski fight with Salters and or Phillip, sorry, and he just like ran into his fist. I mean, what more do you want? Like, you just like I'm okay. Like, you want to talk about bad fight IQ? He ran into him. So, guy's only path to victory. So, like, could Amedovski? Could he catch him early? Yeah, he could, but it's not like Holmes. Now, Holmes didn't show us much against Jamie Pickett, who, if you know anything about me, like Jamie Pickett is the worst. He is the worst, as John Ralphio would say, the worst. So, but Holmes seems like kind of a slow starter. So, look, he fought Pickett on short notice. I'll forgive it. I mean, I'm going to steal this pick from Eric Betts Fights. I like the Holmes round 2 submission. If you're looking for a prop here, it's plus 750. That is the second pick in my Holland Tunnel HJ parlay. Which I'll summarize at the end of the show. But the under 2.5 is a parlay piece. Fight doesn't start round 3. Any time prop you do here is good. Holmes in the distance is even money, which is wild, but I love it. And I'm going to give a shout out to my guy, Phoenix MMA, who this shirt is like as old as he is. But like, if you haven't seen his write-ups, like, he puts a lot of effort to him. Like, Phoenix is like super sharp. And he said this is the biggest bet of his professional gambling career.
Oh shit.
He has
like on Joseph Holmes,
max on Holmes, and then like half his max on the in the distance prop. So like, and his write-up is, by the way, I would highly recommend it because it's very funny. It's like, he's so professional with his write-ups. He kind of went a little against the grain here. He's like, no. He's yelling at me like for hours. He's like, I have this capped at minus 800. He goes, what? He's like, he's minus 200. Like, this is unbelievable. So, yeah, I mean, Amedovski, is he a jobber here? Is this like a jobber thing? And he hasn't fought in forever. I mean, like, oh God. I mean, Holmes in the distance, even money. I'll play the round 2 sub just to do it. But I mean, even his sub props like 2-1. It's like a joke. Like, what? So, I mean, if Jotko could just control Amedovski for an entire fight, and yeah. Jotko couldn't finish Amedovski, but Jotko couldn't finish the drink I just poured. So I'll roll with Holmes here. I'm going to hate myself watching this. Also, I don't know why this is the featured prelim over Porker.
Yeah, that makes zero sense.
Like, why is it Porter on the, like, and like, this is for everything I just said about Porter, like, I stand by. But if you look at this card in terms of like name value, Porter has been on like main cards, just, doing stuff. So I don't know how he got like relegated, but
exactly. Down to fucking heavyweight 2 for you, Parker Porter. Yeah, I'm leaning the same. I got the same reads on it as you. I probably like Holmes to win, but I mean, 8,800 for Joseph Holmes is absolutely insane. 1.86 points a minute. Neither of these guys has a UFC win. Amedovski has scored up to this point 0.56 DraftKings points per minute, and that's over 15 minutes. Yeah, I don't like anything about it, and I'm going to be forced to play it because I think it doesn't go the distance.
What does he give up, Monk? Sorry to interrupt. What does he give up a fight?
Amedovski, just 112.5 per loss.
Well, what did he give up
5 points a minute.
in the John Phillips? What did John Phillips get? Like 120?
John Phillips scored
He got the quick win, 90 and then the quick win bonus.
12 plus what was that? 115?
Yeah, so 127.
So yeah, 127.
Okay,
just a little number like 127.
It's like what Uriah Hall got against Weidman.
Yeah, exactly. No strikes, one strike thrown. Absolutely insane. I mean, I'm gonna have to play this. I'll probably be 20. This is making me sick. It's making me like my mouth is starting to water. You know that feeling. But I think I'm gonna be 20 to 30% on each guy. I mean, that sounds fucking crazy to say out loud, though. Like 8,800 for Joseph Holmes. I mean, but if he gets that win, that finish win, maybe he just doesn't make the optimal 1.86 points a minute. I'll probably be lower on Holmes than I will on Amedovski, and I'll definitely lower, maybe about 20% each, something like that.
Does he have that area? He has takedown upside.
Who's that? Holmes?
Not Amedovski, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I mean, like Holmes, at least he has that. Like, so
that's true. But man, I mean, what did he score in his loss? He scored 27.
Well, I know, but that was like, again, he's short notice, and that was like, Pickett just like threw him. He looked gassed. Like,
yeah, he did.
Pickett can't finish anybody. Like, so that was just them against the cage. Like, I can't imagine. True. Like, Pickett probably scored 65, 70 points. Like,
yes,
he Blagoyed your lineup.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, just put a cap on this, man. I mean, if you have to play up to 30, I guess go ahead, but I don't want to do that. And you're either going to be kicking yourself for playing too much, or you're going to be kicking yourself for not playing enough. There's literally no in between unless you bank the tournament. Then you'll probably be happy with it. But yeah, you're going to be upset.
You'll hate yourself a little less. You'll hate yourself a little less if you bank.
Exactly.
Do you know, hey, Monk, you know what you do after you pack it?
What's that?
You ship it.
Ship it.
Sorry, I'm reliving my old poker days. Nothing pisses somebody off more at a poker table than saying ship it.
Ship it. Oh God.
If you say it every hand, you're kind of a dick. Like,
100%.
You gotta wait. You gotta pick your spots, and like. But when you pick
really hit it.
Oh my God! Like you know they're waiting for you in the parking lot at like the Bellagio, dude, or the Borgata.
Hey, ship it. Yeah, 100%.
Sorry, I just wanted to,
No, that was.
I'm not putting the banner up for that. That's not just my view. That's anybody who's ever played poker's view.
Eric Anders, your boy, going against Junyoung Park, the Iron Turtle. Why don't you actually no? I will start this one off. Iron Turtle $9,000. Eric Anders 7,200. This is another one where, man, if this goes the distance, I mean, you're going to be kicking yourself. Again, neither one is going to make the optimal lineup if it goes the distance. I mean, maybe Eric Anders in a decision, but he does not score well generally. 2.8 points a minute, 88 when he wins. What I'm going to be playing exposure to this week is the finish angle of both of these guys. Junyoung Park, 5 KO wins professionally, but none in the UFC, no finishes in the UFC. So I guess maybe I should lower my expectations there a little bit, but he does score well, 4.22 points a minute, almost 100 when he wins. And I just think Eric Anders, he has gone to decision in 7 of his 12 UFC fights, but he has lost 4 of them, and he's looked pretty tired in most of those fights, especially towards the end. So I guess I'll speak again of what I said at the beginning and just change it a bit. 7,200 for Eric Anders. Play him in GPPs. If he gets the finish here, I mean, optimal lineup all over it at that price. He's also $1,100, almost $1,200 under his average salary. So I don't mind being over the field on Eric Anders this week. If you're going to play Junyoung Park, play him a bit in GPPs. Don't get crazy. But he's definitely a cash play for me this week at $9,000. Love the pace, love the points per win. You are spending $1,000 more than his usual salary. Did get finished by RoboCop last time, so keep that in mind. Eric Anders hits hard as hell, but also has a chin of his own that isn't the best. So, and Park did get finished pretty much on the feet, so didn't technically get knocked down in that Rodriguez fight. But long story short, Park for cash, a bit in GPPs. Anders is the tournament play for me. What do you got for this one?
That Park Rodriguez fight, I don't know if it was the fight of the year last year, but like that was,
It was great.
Oh my God. Like what that like, and they both, I was like, oh my God, it's over. Oh, now it's over the other way. That is like, if you haven't seen the Park Rodriguez fight, like,
It's like Pat Barry and Czech Congo, but in this case, it seems like both guys are decent human beings.
That was such a fun fight. So let me get this out of the way first with Anders. He looked awful today. Like, he did not look.
Yeah, at weigh-ins, yeah.
And like, it's crazy to me. So Anders has cost me a lot of money. Like, full disclosure, like I've bet on you, boy, like tons of times. And I think after the Machida fight, like he's like, oh shit, like I'm not great at this. He's a great athlete. Now he went to fight ready, and I mean, I'm pretty like a 99% sure he's to fight ready. So fight ready is good for people that have like cardio issues or like just maximizing their physical prowess. That's never been Anders' problem. Anders is a great athlete, like fantastic athlete. The problem is putting together like a good game plan. He's so low volume. Like, yeah, he can hit, but he's low volume. He can go for takedowns, but kind of doesn't. And meanwhile, you have the Iron Turtle who, up until the Rodriguez fight, like his chin's great. Now, he's had plenty of time off since that fight. So the knockout's like I'm not concerned here, but
6 months, more than 6 months.
But I see this being Park just out voluming for 3 rounds, and like Park decision is plus 110. That's my favorite bet here. If you want to play fight goes, it's minus 190. But to be honest, I just think I don't think Anders can get him out of there unless he gets a perfect shot. But I think they both have some takedown upside here, but they both don't. It's not their preferred way to go. But I could see this being like, honestly, 6-7 minutes of this fight against the cage. Just dirty boxing. I think Park wins unanimous decision. I mean, it's funny. I like both guys. So like, I don't really want to take a side, but Park should just. Every round should just out. I mean, Anders' volume is it's infuriatingly low. I know he's a sexy dog pick this week for a lot of people, and like I get it, but it's the same reason I've lost money on him these last 6-7 fights. Is that I think the same thing every time, and I'm not having it anymore. So maybe he's my Pittsburgh Steelers, where no matter what I do, I lose that bet. Like, it's possible. But I'm going with the Iron Turtle to win a kind of not thrilling decision win here.
That's exactly how I was thinking. Love him for cash, like you said, or like I said.
I know Addicted to Combat. He has a draw here, which I thought was kind of an interesting angle, but it would require Anders to really like smoke him the first and knock him out of there.
I was thinking split, and even that is kind of hard for me to get to in my mind.
I can't bet a split. Look, and I love crazy props, and I love decisions. But with a guy like Anders, where he's so low volume, it's like if he does connect on a knockdown, he will swarm you. Like he did it to Darren Stewart before he landed the low blow. Like I don't see 10-8s for him very often, because a 10-8 means he won the fight that round.
Yeah, 100%.
Like he's not hunting for submissions for 4.5 minutes, like dominating. He just cracks you, and like that's the end of it.
Yep.
But I don't think he gets there this fight, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree, and we will keep it moving. Pauliana Viana against Tabitha Richie. This fight, what do you think for this one? The people's main event, it seems like, on MMA Twitter.
Okay, so hold on, I may have to put this back up for this next statement. So I have a comment about these OnlyFans. Now Pauliana Viana, it's on like People Poly or whatever. I'm not whatever. But she has an OnlyFans type site, like a knockoff. It's $50 a month and $240 for 6 months for implied nudes.
Oh, here we go again with the implications.
Now, like, implied nudes is probably the worst 2 words I've ever heard in my life. It like, it's awful. Like, it is or it isn't. Promise me something. Terrible. All right. I'm done with that.
Implied nudes. Oh, it makes me shudder.
Now,
it's like cold macaroni or something.
I'm just gonna I'm just going to full on say it. John Kelly is like essentially making me bet Tabitha Richie. He's not threatening me that I can't be on her show anymore, but he's so on the baby shark that like her, I just, the loss to Vieira that's fine. Like, I don't even care that it was on short notice. Like, she was going to lose that fight. Vieira is just, Vieira's going to get it from Quakertown zone, Ketlen Chukagian. But she's been all right. And Viana is, look, she's just content to play guard and hunt for a sub. So look, if you like the Viana side, you have to bet her by sub. It's simple. I personally think it's going to be Richie 3 rounds of just ground control. However, my friend Patrick, Addicted to Combat, made a special request and believes in something. So for the first of 2 times tonight, there will be no bags to be yammed in this fight.
No bags.
The point deduction. 20 to 1 odds.
Yes.
The point deduction. Now, can I see it? Absolutely. If this is going to be fought on the ground, I could see this being a clinch battle against Cage. I can see a cage grab. I can see Viana doing some, let's call it only flans. I don't know a name to call her knockout site.
Only flans.
I could see some only flans chicanery and offbeat shenanigans.
Lonely fans with those implied nudes, I tell you that much.
Lonely fans at $50 a month, am I right?
Nailed it.
Like Kay Hansen with this is like, sign up and like, oh, the price is going up because now like, oh, the sleeve's up. Like, okay. And there's a different time for this conversation. I know Brady's probably losing his mind right now hearing this, but like, have you seen the internet? Do you know what's on the internet? Like $50 a month, win some fights, get in title contention.
Yeah, there's some touts that don't charge $50 a month.
I have not cursed once on this show, I don't think. But get the fuck out of here.
There it is. I know I said I dropped one. We get one apiece, it sounds like.
You're way over. You're way over one. I'm doing my best. Like, Santiago said something to me a couple weeks ago. Like when he watched Probability when I hosted for Brady, he's like, can you do the show without cursing? Santiago asked me personally. He's like, I'd love to work with you. I respect Santiago. Like, so I'm like, okay. So literally the whole show, I'm like, I'm not going to curse. And then like the first fight, Weezy's like, F this. And like, and I'm like, it's so like, I'm like, the urge is so, like the Hulk, I was ready to Hulk smash. I'm like, I want to say all this weird stuff, but like,
exactly.
I just think, all right. So anyway, I don't know if I made an official pick. I think Richie just like lays on her for 15 minutes. If you like the Viana side, better sub. I don't see how she wins the decision, but the price is right. Richie like minus 130, and her decision props plus 160. But I'd rather just play the 130 because, yeah, she has potential to get a finish here. Richie has gone to the distance, I think, once, twice in her life. So it's there. But Richie at minus 125, 130, not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Once in the UFC, 3 times in her career. I'm going to be on the... I think somebody's getting subbed in this fight. So I'm going to be on the Viana side at 7,900 in bigger tournaments.
You want that line?
Well, yeah, what's that? What?
No,
No. Like the submission line? Yeah.
Fight to end. Keep going. I'll look it up.
Yeah. So yeah, 7,900. I think Viana has obviously a good chance at a sub here, but her pace is pretty good too. 3.03 points a minute, 103, almost 104 when she wins. That's over 3 wins. So if she catches something off her back, at 7,900, she could make the optimal. She did make it in her last fight. Richie also with a huge pace, 3.34 points a minute, 100 when she wins. So I'm also going to be having Richie in GPPs as well. Even if she gets a finish, that's a bonus. But like Lou said, if she is just going to be on top for 15 minutes, I'll take all 15 minutes of that control time. She's probably going to land a takedown or 2, maybe 3, 1 to start off each round. And so either way, I think the winner of this fight, Viana by submission or Richie by submission or decision, is going to score pretty well. I like both sides of this for cash. And I also like both sides for GPPs. I'm expecting to be probably over the field on both sides unless, there's some crazy exposure that I don't know about. But I'm good with up to like 30, 35% of each side of this. Like, I think the winner is going to score decently well. And do you find that line for the
Yeah, it's on 2 sites. Shockingly, DraftKings has the worst line. Shockingly, I know.
Yeah.
Although FanDuel is the only other one, and FanDuel has great lines for this. So DraftKings has it at plus 180.
For
FanDuel
inside
has
the
it.
distance.
No, fight to end and sub.
Oh, and then sub. Okay.
And FanDuel has it at plus 210.
It's not bad. I mean,
Yeah,
I think that's good.
I think it's there, and like it covers your
Yep.
Viana bet.
Both sides.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Damn you, Monk. Damn you. Yeah, rat bastard. Dude.
I know.
Yeah,
I have my moments.
Yeah, motherless bastard.
I have my moments. Coco main event, another one. I'll go ahead and start this one off with Chidi and Njokuani going against Duško Todorovic. Guys, long story short, I'm playing both sides of this. I'll probably be even or maybe a tad higher on the Duško side. Bottom line is Chidi has 20 seconds or less of UFC fight tape. Clearly he has power in his hands, but also clearly he's been finished 6 out of 7 of his losses. He's 21-7 as a pro. Obviously I think he is getting better, but I'm playing this playing Chidi for the early knockout side. Duško has been knocked down twice in the UFC. Is kind of known as a bit of a lighter chin guy up to this point, so we'll have to see if he can take that shot that Barrio took from Chidi. But play Chidi for that angle, and I'm also playing Duško because if Chidi doesn't finish in the first 20, 30, 60 seconds, Todorovic is absolutely live here. He's going to get some clinch work. He could get a takedown, and in my opinion, if this gets inside the clinch or on the ground, it's Todorovic all day. Plus, he scores 3.3 points a minute, 120 when he wins. So I absolutely love the upside from both of these guys. I checked before we went live, Lou. Chidi was at like 60% ownership. So maybe I won't be higher than that. I might actually be lower than that in this case. That is way too exposed. Probably a lot like the line is for this fight. Just way too wide. 60% is crazy. Duško was like 15%, maybe 14.5. I'll be way over on Duško and probably under on Njokuani, but definitely not anywhere close to zero. Love this fight for a finish. What do you got for this one as far as betting goes?
So it's problematic for me because I know how Duško holds his chin up, and
yes.
I mean, even Maki Patola was like cracking on him.
Oh.
Now Maki Patola stinks. Coconut bombs, another guy that cost me money.
Stinks.
I freely admit that I have lost money on coconut bombs just because I liked his name. I freely admit this. Here's the problem. If Chidi doesn't get the 20-second knockout on Barriol, on a fight that if you by the way, nobody go back and watch their old archives because I predicted that fight going the distance. I'm like, I don't really like the side, but like, yeah, don't watch that. Please don't watch that video. It didn't age well. So the problem is Chidi's minus 250 right now. If he doesn't get that knockout, I think the number's probably 160, 150.
Easy.
So if you have to bet a side, Duško's the value side. But you have, you're telling me a guy who hits like a ton of bricks against a guy who leaves his chin out there. It's hard for me to take the value side. So I think Duško, if he wants to get takedowns, can. I'm going to play the time props here and just hope for either Chidi to, do the same thing he did last fight, or Duško to be like, I can go to the ground and kind of grind you out. Like, Chidi's not like some prospect, he's in his 30s. Like, he's a veteran, but he has holes in his game, and Duško, his hole in his game is his chin just being there to get smoked. So I like the time props more than anything. Yeah, but if you take a side that, well, I'm sorry, I need to see what the Chidi KO was. So his KO is
106.
It's plus 110, and Duško, or as Best Fight Odds calls him still, Durko Todorovic. Like, really, man?
Weird, because it's not like they don't have him listed as 6 other fights under Duško Todorovic. Like, what are they doing?
The Swedish chef is the is the
Must
editor
be.
for Best
Fight.
That
would explain Diana Belber as well.
So I think the value is on the Disco side, but I don't know that I feel good getting to him. So to me, the time prop is the only way to play it.
I love it. I completely agree. I mean, yeah, like you said, if this goes to decision, I'd be absolutely shocked. And I just did what I always do at least once a show, but at least I caught it this time. Next fight, the co-main event of the evening, Santiago Ponzinibbio going against Michel Pereira. 8,200 for Michel, 8,000 for Ponzinibbio. Why don't you go ahead and start off this co-main?
So I'll keep this one kind of short and sweet. I love the Pereira side here. I realize a lot of the community is on the Ponzi side, and the prices, and I get the price. And look, this is it's on the surface to me, this is a pick'em fight, but it's not, because Ponzi's getting older, and I think these lines are still a product of Pereira doing the moonsault to Tristan Connolly and Price and like these
14 years ago.
No, I mean it wasn't that long ago, but Pereira is still very young. He's in his late 20s, and his skill, like even when he was doing all the crazy stuff years ago, people were like, "Wow, his skill set is so impressive." Okay, but his skill set's not getting worse. It's getting better. I think Pereira is a future title contender. He's a title challenger.
Nice.
He's very diverse. Yeah, is he flashy? Okay, and like it's crazy to me that like you have a guy who loves being in crazy wars and has a flair for the dramatic. Like, people love Conor McGregor. I can't stand the guy, but like, how do you not love Pereira? He's what you want. He's what you want in an entertaining fighter. And people are like, oh, but Ponzinibbio. Now, I mean, look, is Ponzinibbio some like world beater? I don't know. He's had a nice career, but he's getting older. Look, the Jeff Neal loss was, and Jeff Neal's good, but Jeff Neal's going through some kind of, I don't know, but that loss is starting to age worse. He beats Baeza. Okay, well, Baeza right now, like those, maybe like we over, and then like Li Jing Lang, like just crushed him. What's crazy is that he knocked out Magny. Like that's the one that doesn't make any sense. Like it makes no sense.
Fight.
But meanwhile, on the Pereira side, like, people are acting like he hasn't had good competition. Like, all right, Fiallo was a weird, I don't even know. That was just a short notice fight. Like, that's fine. And Fiallo is now just like crushing people. Yeah, he beat Baeza, but like Fiallo's like showing he can pop. He beats Nico Price in one of the craziest fights I ever saw. Loved it. And he gassed. Okay. But it's Nico Price. Like, he will gas you. And then the Chaos Williams fight, which I thought was incredible, because Chaos Williams was known for being the scariest, and Chaos Williams is still one of the scariest punchers. But Pereira had a high fight IQ game plan in that fight. He never was in trouble in 15 minutes. Not one point in that fight did he ever get touched.
Was that Chaos' first loss in the UFC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Randy Brown giving him the loss was a very different look, because Chaos, had his moments. He had no moments against Pereira. So to me, I think he's just a better fighter all over the place. Like, the only thing he doesn't have is experience, but not by much. He's the better fighter on the ground if he wants to do that, which no one seems to be talking about. And, Ponzi's a pressure fighter. I get it. But who's to say Pereira's going to wilt from it? So I'm all over the Pereira side for this. All over it. And I like the KO prop at plus 350. I don't think he's getting a sub here. But I love the KO prop, man. I really do. Even in a 3-round fight, I think Pereira can put it on him. And I think the cardio concerns are overblown. So, yeah, Glenn's saying Pereira round 3. I looked at that, and I like round 2 better for, I don't know why. But, or I tell Brady this all the time. You know why I tell Brady I bet round 3? Because I'm such an expert gambler. You know why I tell him I bet round 3? It pays more. I'm like, well,
good reason.
He's like, why do you think round 3? I'm like, well, it pays more. Like, I tell that to Tim Triano all the time. I'm like, well, round 3 pays more.
Hey, that's just.
I mean,
I've heard,
but I think Pereira can just like pillar to post him. I think the lines. And by the way, they showed him at the weigh-ins how much bigger Pereira is. So I had bet this 3 days ago. Pereira was one of my first bets I made, because I'm like, this is crazy, dude. I think Pereira should be a 2-1 favorite. I know people are going to think I'm nuts for this. I just think he is so much more skilled everywhere.
I completely agree, man. For the DraftKings side of things as well. I mean, Ponzi has made the optimal in one of his past 3 fights. But honestly, like you said, he is getting a bit older. He's not anything crazy. He's still 35 years old, but Pereira just more athletic, much bigger. I mean, the UFC stats don't do it justice. 1-inch differential and the same reach. I don't think that is going to be accurate. Pereira scores over 3 points a minute. His defensive pace is really what keeps him in things, allowing only 1.81 points a minute and 69 when he loses. That is it. He's also $350 under his average salary with an average value of over 8. I love everything about Michel Pereira in this fight. Like you said, I think he can, he's possibly going to be better striking. He could be quicker for longer. And then
he will be.
Yeah, exactly. And the takedown and control time upside is exponentially more than Santiago Ponzinibbio, who's also giving up over half a point per minute in the grappling exchanges. So I absolutely love Pereira from a cash angle and from a GPP angle. Like you said, if he gets a finish here at 8,200, I mean, that could be close to making the optimal 8,200 right at that mid range. If he scores 90, 95, and if he breaks 100, I mean, oh my goodness, that would be fantastic. I'd be hard pressed to not make optimal with only 11 fights if he puts up triple digits. So I'm not counting Santiago out of this altogether, but I just really like the Pereira side much more. Scoring upside, statistical upside, pretty much athletic upside, everything. So I'm right on board with you for the co-main event. Guys, go ahead.
I missed something on this fight. I do have an additional bet. It's the third leg of the hand. And this is my second Yam Bags play of the day. And the reasoning, I'll keep it quick. The reasoning's simple. Any Pereira fight, he's warned 5 times.
True.
Watch your fingers.
True.
Which is another reason I like Pereira to knock him out. He'd be like, oh shit, I'm down 2 rounds to nothing because of point deduction. But I love this fight. And Ponzinibbio's another guy. He fights, his fingers are out. Like he thinks he's Pai Mei. I'm looking at the screen right now. I'm like, all right, right. So like, I love this for like, I don't like it for like typically when I try to do like one of these point deduction fights, I look at like, are cage grabs and eye pokes in play, or is Dean Barry involved?
Yes, right.
And I think Pereira gets warned all the time, so I'm in, dude. And like, I think Couch Warrior, shout out to him, like my host later tonight. He hit me up with this like on Tuesday. He's like, hey man, I got a suggestion for this bet, and I'm like, it's just furthermore proof that Yambag Mania has caught fire on Twitter. And look, if I have to give advice to aspiring content creators, it's 2 things. Number 1, find a niche that people will think is funny. And number 2, that niche better not goddamn be people getting hit in the balls, because that's my gimmick, and back off.
Yeah, we will. I mean, you'll get a cease and desist from the MMA Engine real quick. I tell you that much. Guys, we are on the main event of the evening. Before we get there, thank you so much for joining us. Hit the like button and subscribe to the MMA Engine channel, and stick around for the rest of the night because we have 2 more shows pretty much right after this back-to-back. So stick around. Holm going against Ketlen Vieira. I will go ahead and start off this main card. I think this one goes to decision. I think Holm by decision is the most likely outcome. She is $9,100, which is incredibly high for someone who puts up 2.23 points a minute and only 83 per win, a value of just 7. Going against Ketlen Vieira, 7,100, a bit better of pace, but only 81.7 points per win. Again, guys, not a huge fan of this one. I'll probably be low on the main event, fading it in general. I like both sides for cash, I guess, but for bigger tournaments, I'll be looking elsewhere. I mean, I'll pay up for Almeida. I'll pay down, for guys like Cheaty, or who's at 9,000 here that I can't see. Jung Young Park, somebody like that. So give me, I'll probably dance around Holm a little bit. I'll still have her about 20 or so percent. I just don't like her output for GPPs. And yes, it is a 5-round fight, but I don't think that's really going to add a ton. I mean, Holly Holm has been in several 5-round fights, and she still has an average of just 83 points per win. Vieira just came off of a 5-round fight, so I'm leaning decision no matter who wins. But I might be a bit higher on Vieta and GPPs because of that salary, $7,100. If she even gets, a decision win here, would probably put her on the optimal lineup. And if she gets a finish, it's 100% where she's going. So probably a bit higher on the Ketlen side, a bit less on Holly Holm, but I like both for cash, especially the Holly Holm side. Pretty easy breakdown as far as DFS goes, in my opinion, for this one. What have you got as far as a betting angle to close this bad boy out?
I mean, how do you bet this fight?
Yeah, exactly.
I
mean, what's Holly by decision? Minus 118. So you can't bet that.
Yeah, and I just don't like betting decisions in 5-round fights. It's too much weird. Look, even if you don't think it can happen, weird stuff can happen, like DQs can happen, or just freak injury. I don't know, man. It's like Vieira early or Holm late. I've seen people saying maybe Holm round 4, round 5, but she's a parlay piece at best. But to me, I'm not betting this fight either. I have the 8 fight.
I agree.
I have the 8 fight window from Martinez Morales to the Ponzi Pereira fight, and then I'm done. I just can't justify Holm at minus 50. I mean, I looked at this KO prop because I know Vieira's had some cardio issues. Her last KO is Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In 1983.
Yeah. When Stranger Things was debuting. That's how long ago.
When I had to go to the guy in the corner with the blue gambling tickets and be like, well, this. So, I mean, Holm's a parlay piece, but there's no other bet I can recommend. Fight goes in a 5-round fight. Even if you think it's smart, do you really want to, we're fight fans. Do you want to end your night saying, I really hope nothing happens in the next one? It's like betting under. It's like betting under in soccer. Oh, by the way, killing it in soccer all week, Lou Betya.
Yeah.
Just so you know, do you want to bet an under in any sporting event? Do you want to bet an under? I mean, I get that there's times to bet unders. I'm not saying never bet them, but especially in soccer where, the under is going to be 2.5. Do you want to sit there with your butthole clenched for 2 hours and be like, I hope nothing happens. I hope nothing happens. No, you want to enjoy the game. You want to enjoy a game. So, do I want to bet this fight to go? No, I would like to see it be hilariously awesome. I would. But, I think when we know we're getting a Holly Holm, she's had a long layoff. She's in her 40s. And Vieira seems to have a gas tank issue. If you want to just play a fun bet, look for Vieira round 1, round 2 to just maybe take her. I guess, but I can't recommend that as a bet.
No.
Holm's a parlay piece, and I recommend nothing else on this fight. And even then, Holm's not a lock. In a vacuum, she's better everywhere.
Yep.
But she's older. She's off a layoff. She had a knee injury, which is worrisome. But
100%.
Parlay piece or pass, dude.
I hear you. And with that one, Lou, we are finished. Speaking of parlay piece, though, before we get out of here, I don't know if you have revealed the HTHJ play of the week, but if not, let's do it now, baby. No better time than the present.
So I did it in pieces throughout the show, but it's a 3-leg parlay, $3.12 on Betway. I'm going to try them out this weekend. $3.12 will yield $10,024.54. The 3 legs are Joseph Holmes round 2 submission, Vince Morales round 2 knockout, and the Pereira Ponzinibbio yam bag shot.
Love it.
Will it hit? I doubt it. But here's the question: do you have $3?
Right. Do you like a good time?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Monk, never tell me do you have $3 and like a good time, because I'm going to interpret that as not only so different, but wonder what am I really getting for $3?
Well, I mean, that's the Holland Tunnel's slogan, isn't it? That's the sign that reads when you're going in.
So, did you ever see what the hell is Upright Citizens Brigade when they were on Comedy
Briefly,
Central?
that was one I need to catch up on.
Okay, so I'll leave. I can't believe I'm going to leave the show on this note, but but the vodka drinks are starting to take effect. So They have this episode called the Little Donnie Foundation. Little Donnie's disease is that he's a kid that has a humongous dong and is not aware of it. The disease is that he's not aware of it. So like he has problems with doing activities with kids. It's ridiculous. So when they're doing these commercials, during the show, they're like, for the price of a cup of coffee, like you can support. So they do these at the show, and they finally got to, for the cost of one hand job in the Holland Tunnel, you can support the Little Donnie Foundation. So like that's like kind of like, and this is from like, this show is from like 15 years ago.
Oh
so
yeah,
like,
easy.
I'm saying is I think the seeds were planted so long ago. Like
there you go.
That led me to this. Like
get an origin, part of Lou's origin story right here.
Right. Like, yeah, do not share my origin story, but
yeah, stay tuned after the post credits. There might be a scene, so be sure.
And also, if you want to add, like I said, if you want to add Uros Medic round 1 or Omar Morales round 2 to any play you do, it's, to me, it feels like when people use the term binary fight, they use like this guy's going to win the ground or he's going to get. No, this is binary, like Medic round 1, or Morales just gets him out of there. So
yep,
and you get good odds playing that fight either way. So
for sure. Well, we did it, Lou. We did it, chat. Thank you so much for sticking around with us. Another successful MMA Engine channel to kick your Friday off. Right. Be sure, don't tune that dial. Stick around for Brady's show right after this one, I believe, in just about half hour, 45 minutes.
7:15 Eastern.
7:15 Eastern, and then you're
the only time Eastern Standard Time.
That's true. The only yeah. Well, we'll see about that when we finally have our throwdown. But and then we have your show with Couch Warrior, I believe, at 8:30 Eastern. Yes, so be sure to stick around for that. We got tons of content coming at you, like I said, to get you ready for UFC Vegas 55. So for me, for Lou Betya, as always, guys, I want you to enjoy the fight. So enjoy, and we will see you next time. Have a good one.